Apes and apettes, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna go over everything you guys need to know here in this video about AMC, why AMC is still dropping, what is going on in the marketplace, the catalyst for today, and the catalyst for the rest of the week, as well as heading into the near-term future. So we're gonna dive into it. We're not gonna waste any time on the intro. If you guys own a single share, if not more, of AMC, hit that like button for me. Get this video to 500 likes. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys find entertainment or education out of this video. Also, if you guys want to get totally free stock, check out the link for Moomoo, Weeble, and Public down below. Can't go wrong getting some free money, especially during this time of great volatility. Also, if you guys want to start winning on your trades, check out the link down below in the description, in the pinned comment, and in the description, wherever you guys want. The link for the buy and sell alerts is down there. So diving straight into this video, AMC is down about 2.8%, but I do want to point out the fact that the SPY has done nothing all day. We're pretty much at the price we opened on the day. So it was very volatile, dropping down to about 0.5% negative. At one point, it looked like we were going to start slipping under this range, but we did bounce after that. But the SPY has done absolutely nothing, so keep that in mind. It's very volatile, but you're just seeing a whiplash, up and down, over and over again, day after day. And if you do take a look at the SPY, and why I'm even talking about this is because obviously AMC is following what the markets are doing. If the markets are dropping, AMC is dropping. If the markets are up, AMC is also up. We're heading to this very important level at about $350 for the SPY. If we can get above that by the end of the day, that is looking good. If we don't, that is not looking all so hot. We're hanging out right in the middle between the 100-day and the 200-day moving averages on the SPY. So this could go either way. It could get very bloody again, or we could bounce back up. It's really 50-50 at this current moment. The big catalyst for this week is going to be the CPI data that comes out on Thursday. That is February 10th. And what we're expected to get is 7.3% inflation year over year, and we are expected to see a very high inflation number month over month as well, about 0.5%. So when you look at it like that, I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to rally in the broad markets until we get those numbers. If the number comes in high, if there's a lot of inflation, expect the markets to sell off. If inflation does start to cool down and we actually see the first tick down now in 7 or 8 months, that is going to be a very bullish thing, and the markets are going to rally based off of that. And AMC is going to be primed to benefit because they have been beaten into the ground at their lowest levels they have been at since before the June rally. So keep that in mind. I don't think there's a lot of sellers left in AMC as the sell-off has slowed down a lot, going from down 5 to 10% on any given day, now only down 2.67%. So some other stocks are down even more than AMC, and I wouldn't be discouraged because the markets are also acting quite wonky and they are down as well today. So keep all of that information in mind. That big day is going to be Thursday, but we do have some earnings to talk about. Like I said in the last video, the big earnings for this week are really going to be Tuesday after hours. Chipotle, Corsair, Lyft, and Spirit Airlines, Enphase, and Peloton. They could also move the markets a little bit because they are consumer demand, at least for Peloton. Wednesday, Disney, Uber, Twilio. Those are going to be the big ones. MGM Resorts could also be big for the casino sector, for the hospitality sector. And then on Thursday, you do also have Twitter, Coca-Cola, and Pepsi in pre-market. And then you do have Affirm, Cloudflare, Zillow, Aora Cannabis in after hours Thursday. And then the only one that I'll even be watching on Friday is going to be Under Armour. So we do have some pretty exciting earnings coming. Walt Disney is going to be the biggest one in my personal opinion, and a lot of people are paying attention to what does Disney say about the consumer. Are they actively going to the parks? Are they buying merchandise? What are they doing? What's their subscriber numbers looking like? How are people spending money? That's what the markets want to see. Is growth slowing down at the same time the Fed is tightening or about to start tightening? That's really where you can get the dual whammy sell-off effect that does start to happen. Now, as far as the data is concerned for AMC, the positive order value on the day is 10%. We have 20 institutional orders totaling $4.31 million. So not a lot of bullish activity from the institutional investors today. Virtually none at all. 1 out of 10 orders for the day have been bullish, or actually in this case 2 orders out of 20 have been bullish today. So not looking all too bullish as far as institutions, but This is causing a lot of artificial shorting activity to take place. A lot of these expirations are April 14th and March 18th as well. So a lot of near-term artificial shorting. And then you do see, as we have went over plenty of times here in the past couple of days, you do see a lot of the January 20th, 2023, the $5, $10, or $20 calls that are being purchased in large amounts. So shorts, or institutions in general, are shorting the stock in the near term, and then they are going long on the stock in the longer term. So keep that in mind. A lot of artificial shorting power that is happening right now, and that is why the stock is trading down. Cost to borrow max as far as the Ortex data at 1.9%. Current shares that are sold short of 110.19 million. Short interest of free float 21.47%. Share utilization of 81.45%, and the days cover at 2.60. So all of that looking very good as well. I'm pleased with what I'm seeing, but obviously it does look like this data will start to pick up more as the price of the stock has continued to sell off. As far as the 13F filings, we are seeing a pretty muted response like we talked about in the last video. It's about 50-50. Some firms are selling out, some are doubling down and loading up. It's really 50-50. If you have not seen that video earlier, go ahead and check that out. We broke all of that down. As far as the max pain, that's $18 by the end of the week. That's going to be a big move. I wouldn't hold my hat on that, but that is possible when you're looking at the Stock O tracker data. You can see for this week, we only have 3,900 calls that are in the money, 185,000 calls that are out of the money. So if you see a move to the upside, those calls go from out of the money into the money. And as we know, that causes the market makers to buy stock to hedge out the back end obligation of these call contracts. And same thing on the put side. As the stock goes up, the puts that are in the money run out of the money, and then they have to de-hedge their obligation on the backside of the puts, and then that causes buying power from the market makers as well. So that's where you get this whole mega bounce scenario that I talk about quite often, and it is setting up like that. But the fact that the CPI data comes out on Thursday, we're not going to have a lot of time to really figure out which direction the markets are going to go. There's not a lot of time to digest that data and that information. So we are going to see a big move on Thursday, likely another big move on Friday. Wouldn't surprise me to see a positive 1.5% day or a negative 2 or 3% day, depending on what this data is. That is the main focus of concern for investors. And then after Thursday, February 10th, we do have another CPI reading March 10th, and then we have the FOMC meeting, and that is going to be when Fed Jerome Powell gets up there and says, yeah, we're going to raise rates 0.25%. That's what is expected. This is more in a longer term sense. I know it's about 45 days away, but it's coming faster than you actually realize. So market participants are pricing this in right now, and they have been for quite a while. That's why the CPI data is so very important. And that's really, like I said, the main focus of investors. CPI, CPI, CPI. You're going to hear this over and over again. If you watch videos on YouTube, CNBC, or anywhere else, you're going to see, or hear, I should say, CPI over and over again. Do not underestimate how important that is. Make sure you guys have your risk to reward in balance heading into Thursday. But ultimately, even these earnings that are in after hours today, tomorrow, and on Thursday are also going to be important as well. So last but certainly not least, let's take a brief look at the technical analysis. So we do have to break out above the 20-day simple moving average, this line in between these two green Bollinger Bands. That's sitting at $17.72 per share. My price prediction was about $16.50 to about $17.50, in that $1 range, because I do expect a lot of this negative CPI data coming out Thursday is already priced into the markets. We're really hanging out around $15 per share. That is a really solid level of support. And unless we see a full-on market tank or mass liquidation event, I don't think you're going to see AMC drop too low. What's your worst case scenario? $12, $10 per share. You've already realized your worst case scenario thus far. Now, as far as the moving averages as well, those are a lot higher at $24 per share for the 50-day, 100-day, and 200 days, sitting at about $31 and $34 per share. So we have a ways away until those are resistance levels as well. We just have to break out past the 20 days simple, and then we do have to break out past $18.50 and then $20 per share, and then we are off to the races. As far as the volume is concerned, like I said, we're not really seeing too many sellers in the stock still. You're only sitting at 25 million shares that have traded hands so far today, and about 32 1.2 million shares that have traded hands yesterday, and the volume has been pretty low. Besides the day we did see 125 million shares traded, and that was the day that AMC released their numbers. So I do think earnings will also be a very bullish catalyst for AMC, as a lot of the bad news has already been priced into the stock. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below how many shares of AMC do you own. If you guys want access to all of my trades in real time, join a great trading community. Check that link out pinned in the top comment, as well as get yourself some free stock with Moomoo, Webull, and Public. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.